don't mean...
The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, rather, as a means to occupy Ame Yuya's body.
You hear that, Blade?
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Isshin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara Clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
Top bad boy ruined your hopes and dreams.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. And sure enough,
You're just a lingering regret, aren't you?
he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
Swords can become...
I should, get rid of the sword I got from
People
Albedo.
of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest
You're
to
here
return
all the
to
way from the
distant
land of cold
Inazuma.
and ice?
Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but
How many
one
souls
thing,
did you
to
consume? You
face the
filthy
full
regret.
force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Isshin Art.
So Ame Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back.
So they don't die or
to
get sucked
Inazuma.
completely dry then.
You're awful.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Ame Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter.
You won't even see the Raiden Shogun's blade before you get cut into bits.
At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination.
Whatever the hell your name is.
By Ame Yuya's body, I have found you. And by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun, Kaedehara Kazuha. You stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi.
Hey, I took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
To serve as my host for what
Can I
is
get
to
some
come.
relevance too?
Now, give your body over to me.
Fallen
Rewrite
leaves,
history.
adorn my night!
Join me and sever that divine
One with
light.
nature!
It's interesting how it possesses Electro, see? I'm influencing it with Electro. Well, it makes sense.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too.
He's not talking to me, right?
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost.
You're weak.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its
You
limit.
dumb
Nothing more.
blunt.
Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced.
Traveler.
I can take a new
You gotta tone it
vessel
down
at
a little
will.
bit.
The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My
You're still on your
consciousness
case,
shall
but you
endure
lost. Take it.
by any means
Dub, you know.
necessary, and
Ruining that
any medium
blade.
available.
Your master
I shall
man.
return and fulfill my destiny.
Alrighty.
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Isshin Art, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Isshin Art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Ame Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Isshin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can
You and
possess
him
its
aren't so
owner.
different, are you?
Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time
Tsundere
that's
blade?
passed, you have grown weak to the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth.
You two aren't so different.
But the way I see it,
But
began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
he's outrun you a long time ago.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Isshin Art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Isshin Art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding.
Was your maker a tool too then?
How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Isshin Art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool. I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. Descendant of the Kaedehara Clan, if you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path.
You're gonna show it to him, aren't you? You're gonna take that blade.
I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Woot woot, I'm rooting for
Very
you,
well.
Kazuha.
Then find yourself some enemies with whom you
You go
wish
crazy.
to cross
You got
blades.
me to put you
A
down
taste
after
of
all.
my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
It's a risky strategy, buddy.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya.
But I believe in you.
The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
Even so,
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
It's not like I can stop you anyways.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Wield it, Kazuha. And come out even stronger than before.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. So far, this was as I expected.
If something feels out, let me know immediately.
I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights.
Hey, we can fight like we did in the promo.
If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it.
Alright, can I see the stats on the blade? Kazuha, you never let me have fun. Whoa! Wait, what did I just see there? Wait, was that his C3? Was that the blade skill? Yo, this is sick! Oh, come on, it's over? I was just getting started.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Let's keep going then.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me,
He
he's
is
instead
being
trying
wielded
to
by
match my fighting rhythm.
a fellow another master now, right? Come on, boys.
Into the wind.
And hold that. Take that.
Adorn my knight.
Everyone. Come on. You're all going down way too quick.
Whoa.
So I'm not that strong.
With the blade.
It's growing dimmer.
He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
He's gonna become even stronger, isn't he?
But what would that do to Amano Miyuya?
Isn't he already out of his
I will
control?
be careful with it.
Yeah,
He
we
also
don't know
says
that if
does
he
not have
will.
any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
His ambition lasted for how long, Kazuha? Hey, I think this is the same domain we actually went through when we had to go save Master Masakatsu with Yoimiya from last time. Ah, the Archon quest in Inazuma. So many memories. Some I kind of want to forget. Whoa. Thanks, Paimon, for screaming in my ear. I love that jump skill. I don't have Kazuha, by the way. This is how all Kazuha havers feel. Let me know.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the
Yeah,
entire fight.
you're a little more sloppier than you are, Kazuha.
Yes, and it looks like he's reached his limit.
What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before?
His wear and tear is severe.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
So the truth is right there in front of him.
I finally figured out
Will
why
he
it
really
was that you agreed to my bet.
listen to you?
You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me, for perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to
Shut up,
There
Paimon.
they are! Take them down!
What I am, though. Hey, boys.
be? Where do they keep
You
coming
shouldn't fight
from?
this blade anymore.
Yep. We can help this time.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade.
Which is?
It's just more of the same.
That's a Kazuha I know, but seriously, would you let me do something? Hey, the fillet blade! Come on, Kazuha, wield that one more time. That's right, the decisive blow.
Way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth.
You know, I'm no sword master, but I still sense something within you that still hasn't broken just yet.
I thought that if I could achieve Isshin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is.
It's a 3-star.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power.
A friend.
Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Isshin Art. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you,
Now we have the full
part of
story.
you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
He already lost a duel a long time ago, basically.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. It is the true source of your despair.
The source of your ambition.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose.
He didn't give it to you for you to throw it all away like that.
How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Who said about going back on anything?
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
You can just keep trying step by step.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end.
What did he really say to his blade?
A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Isshin Art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path.
Made it a broken blade towards the end.
This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too?
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot.
Will you stop
for
interfering?
Kazuha.
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed
He
again.
lost his own battle.
Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
Amenoma Yuya finally regains consciousness. The party explains the situation to him.
See. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor.
And yeah, the old man is worried sick.
If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry.
You're a good
We'll
character
vouch for
then.
your innocence to the Terrio Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
This was a very fun story quest. I can't really say anything good or bad. I'm so immersed in it. Like swordsmithing, martial arts are stuff that I'm just passionate about myself. So this might be boring for some people, but I am just so in the zone, and I really hope you guys are enjoying the story quest, same as me.
Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Isshin Art, Kaedehara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma Art, Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
March forward. Samurai.
Time to go. One with wind and cloud.
Draw. And
Thank you for the
Sheep.
experience, although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away, but that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf.
well said.
It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone and not let them stain the legacy of Isshin Art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Isshin Art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma Art.
Go well.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma.
And this blade is full of requests, isn't it?
It's Yuya!
It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
You tell Amenoma Togo about the various things that happened.
A prized Isshin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji, from the Bonton Sango
Wait.
Detective Agency, tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Dead?
Really? Is he okay?
Yes. Badly
Oh, thank
wounded,
God. I was
but
worried
he will
about
live.
the family.
And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
I'm more interested in why you're letting him do all this, Kazuha. What is it that you seek?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious.
Not like he can control you fully, Kaedehara.
I have decided to let him do it.
I trust your judgment.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes, the cost is my entire consciousness.
You said you trust his judgment, kid. Believe in him. And him, too.
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Isshin Art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Isshin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Isshin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara Clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it.
What's his real name?
It's strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Isshin.
Kagotsube Isshin.
Name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
After leaving the Amanoma Smithy, you learned the blade's final words from Kazuha.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
He's a fine blade now.
Kagotsurube Isshin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
The remnants of defeated gods are nothing to scoff at. So are you saying you're even stronger than that?
I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way.
Wait, what do you mean face the gods? I was actually gonna inquire about them.
After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Kazuha,
You're a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hold you to that word now.
wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Kujo who?
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
That's a relief.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please take a look at this blade.
What's this?
A fine blade.
Kagotsurube Isshin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara Clan. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Isshin Art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
With the Grux fleet,
I see.
The Kaedehara Clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the Shogunate and Sangonomiya.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate
oh,
to
you do
inform me.
owe him one, right?
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again.
See you
for
on the
now.
seas then, buddy.
As for my next
It
destination,
better not be Sumeru.
let's see where the wind takes me.
It's gonna be Sumeru.
Good blanks.